Hello everyone, welcome back to Andromeda 6. I know, I hear you guys, I hear you. I left us on a cliffhanger. Not even for 1 week, for 2 weeks. Oh my god. Hated myself for that, honestly. Because I forgot to record last week. Embarrassing. It's okay, we're back on it. So if you don't remember, last episode, we had our big mo. We got to pick who we wanted to be with for the rest of the game. Of course, I picked Damon. And we had like this really cutie pie scene where we're like talking about our fifis and wanting to be together and stuff. We just got out from, I think we're on Orion, which I think is June's planet. So we're out from Orion on June's planet, and we're leaving. Everyone's like, get on the ship. They're about to go through all the reform. We have Vex with us. We just figured out his parents were here, held in captivity or something. And we were all having a great, grand, fun time. Until a gunshot rings in my ears. The sound so loud it deafens the world around me. Silence swiftly follows. My eyebrows dipping at the absence of birdsong, the trickle of water that now seems so far away. Goosebumps raise to the surface of my skin, the air of the forest seeming close to close in and stifle me. I didn't feel a thing. It wasn't. A low groan reaches my ears, and when I look towards Vex, my eyes widen in horror. Hey! Oh, hold on, my cat's water thing is on, and it's going... Not very good for ambiance, I fear. I fixed it. It's literally over there going glug, 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 glug. They widen in horror at the dark red stain that appears over the front of his jacket and soaks through the crimson fabric. At the blood that covers his hands when he pulls them away from the gunshot wound and stares at me, his face gone pale. No. Kay. Yeah, he's dying. Oh yeah, right, that's where we ended. Yeah, I was wondering where that was. I was like, restart required. So I'm on chapter 6. That also means, guys, just letting you know, this game is not finished. So we have 6, 7, and 8. So we have 3 chapters left, and then we'll be done. Until they finish the next 2 chapters. Next, however many chapters. I don't remember how many there are. I've said it before, but it never sticks in my mind. Vex falls backwards right as June launches himself forward, just in time to catch him before he hits the ground. I rush forward to help him, reaching Vex's side at the same time as Riona, her face grim as she kneels beside me. Everyone stay back. See, I was reading this and I didn't see no chapter, whatever. I don't even care. Damon orders from where he's pressed against a tree, a knife in each hand as he stands as still as the rocks, listening closely for signs of movement. My eyes are fixed on Riona, watching her put pressure on Vex's wound, his blood staining the sleeves of her dress. I mean, it's probably staining the leaves too. Who shot? She feels around the wound with her long fingers, and Vex winces with the pain. He's losing a lot of blood. We need to get him to... A second gunshot has us all ducking for cover. I'm well aware that where we are is too exposed, too close to danger. We need to get Vex onto the ship before whoever fired that shot decides to stick another bullet in him. I chance to look towards the forest and see movement behind the trees, figures creeping through the undergrowth. Only their silhouettes are visible, their features hidden by the setting sun behind them. I can't tell from here if the new arrivals are friend or foe, but the shiver that goes through me as they approach gives me the answer I need. I thought we were safe. I thought we made it out of the facility unharmed. Now I know how wrong I was. Put your weapons down now, or I'll finish what I started. Who's I? A voice echoes through the clearing as a group of Makari soldiers appear from the tree line, advancing on us with speed. A woman! She come inside. Sorry. My coworker started listening to the Epic soundtrack. Yo, she didn't even talk about that song. She said, I don't like the thirsty one. I said, okay. Like, so you hate fun. Hey, I'm not getting a picture of the thumbnail. You just think I am. The leader steps up, their rifle pointed at Vex as they bark an order at their soldiers. Get them on their knees and search the ship. I watch as they step closer, their icy expression sending chills down my spine. Their eyes focus on Vex, the color so pale it can't be natural. I shudder as the pupils widen and contract mechanically, assessing the man at their feet. Well, well, looks like I got a rat. Vex curses quietly, between gasping breaths, wincing in pain. His hand still covers the bullet wound, and though I want to move closer to make sure he's alright, I'm too afraid to move. Nice to see you too, Ren. Did you really have to shoot me? Ren. Hey, fun. Ren scoffs at him, and once their soldiers are circling us completely, they lower their weapon. Sorry, I am moving this monitor closer so I don't get confused. You were supposed to kill the Andromeda Six crew quietly, not blow a chunk out of Orion. What was I supposed to do? You know, I think the doctor scrambled my brain a little much. You think I remember orders like that? Without warning, Ren swivels the rifle and smashes the butt of it down onto Vex's face with a sickening crack. Fuck. Vex swears out loud as a hand flies to his nose, stemming a fresh flow of blood. Bruh. I would say it's probably best if we didn't do anything. Probably. Save me. Call my name and say, yeah. Like, I don't think we're that strong, TBH. I bite my tongue and keep quiet, not wanting to provoke the Makari leader any more than Vex already has. Something tells me the soldier isn't playing any games, and I have no desire to test the limits right now. Footsteps echo on the ramp to the ship as Cauldron and Ayame appear, their hands held above their heads as they're escorted by Makari soldiers. Uh-oh, this is looking bad for us. The soldiers push them down on their knees beside us, and I scan them quickly, finding them unharmed. Hell yeah. A win is a win. Ren doesn't acknowledge their presence, but still busy with Vex. I always knew you were weak, but Jess insisted you would get the job done. Who's Jess? I take no pleasure in being right. That's a surprise, isn't it? Careful, Seraph. My trigger finger is itching to put you down. So do it. What are you waiting for? My breath hitches in my throat at the taunt. When will Vex learn to keep his mouth shut? If Ren shoots him again, he's done for. All in good time. I think I'll deal with your new friends. The Andromeda Six crew. Oh yes, I know all about you. Ren walks the line in front of us, each member of the crew on their knees, glaring up at them spitefully. Their boots are muffled by soft grass. Any small sound they make halted when they come to a stop in front of June. Hey. Subject JXV. Thought you were dead. No, but you will be if you lay a finger on any of my friends. Ren smirks, amused by the threat. Glad to see you still have some fight in you. Yeah, you're kind of a bitch. What? Who said that? They carry on, the soft thud of their footsteps fraying my nerves with each step they take. Can't say I've seen your record. Oops. They stop in front of me, pale blonde hair falling into their face as their bionic eyes shift and rotate unnaturally. Picked up a new member for your merry band of misfits, have you, Commander? Ren faces Cauldron, the corner of their lips tilting into a cruel smile. We needed a navigator, so we found one. Now leave them alone. I can see in an instant that this was the wrong thing to say. Rin quirks an eyebrow at the captain before they take the rifle from their back and point it at me. Or what? I swallow around the lump in my throat, my palms sweating. Mom, spaghetti! Sorry, I'm serious. As I stare down at the barrel in front of my nose. Damn it. Carol? Carell? Carell. Carell. I'm gonna assume it's Carell. Carol doesn't seem right. Damn it, Carell. Take me. I'm the one you've been looking for. Let the rest of them go. So noble. They smile, but there's nothing warm about the gesture. Thankfully, they're lowering their weapon, and I breathe out a lungful of air in relief. But if you think I'm letting a single one of you go free, you're mistaken. Jess has plans for your crew, though I'm sure he wouldn't mind if we lose one or two of them before we get to Goldus. As for your fate, a public execution will serve best for you, Commander Lynch. You did murder the head former Crown Counsel, after all. That's a lie and you know it. Sorry, her accent's gonna be fucked up because I usually take a mo to find it. I didn't take a mo to find it. Ren cocks her head at Aya, studying her in the same manner as a hawk sizing up its prey. The pilot who broke Lynch out of prison, is that it? That's right. She tilts her chin in the air, determined not to let her anger get the best of her. Still just a nobody. Aya's face falls at that remark, and I want to tell her it's not true. Ren continues on, their shoulders sinking with a soft sigh as their gaze falls on Damon. Back up off my man! Back up off my man! That's my man, bitch. Reznor, not surprised to see you've switched sides. Damon grins at them, seeming completely unfazed by the situation. Can't tell if it's all just an act or if he's truly isn't bothered by the danger we're in. If I had to bet, I'd say it was a little bit of both. I never picked a side to begin with. You know me, Ren. Still a coward, I see. But handy in a cinch, am I right? I don't miss the eye roll Ren gives him as they step back and glance over us one last time. With Ren distracted by the others, I steal a glance at Vex, who still looks like he's barely holding on. I catch Damon's eye as he glances towards Vex, seeing a shadow cross his face. He knows exactly how much trouble we're in. There's so many things I want to say to him, but so much I want to try to convey through this simple gaze. I need him to know how much he means to me, how he's pulled me from my darkness and blanketed me in his own particular brand of shadow. Hey, I read something like that once. Sorry. Talking about a Shikamaru fanfiction. Don't worry about it. If we ever make it out of this, I'll be sure to tell him everything. So the question remains, who do I kill first? Ren commands our attention, our eyes glued to them as they make their show of thinking it's over. When they step up to Riona, I find it hard to believe it's pure coincidence. There's something in their face that gives it away, a kind of satisfaction when at catching a prized fish in their net. Looks like it's my lucky day. The last Archangel, Riona Mahaden. Something drops to the pit of my stomach, a feeling of dread coming over me. Your dear old dad has been nothing but a thorn in our side since we liberated the system. I wonder what he'll give to get his little girl back in one piece. Riona glares at them, her hands still covered in Vex's blood, as they hang untrembling at her sides. Go off, queen. You sweet thing. Oh, you sweet thing. Could be the key to everything. I haven't seen my home in years. You really think I'd be any use to you? There's only one way to find out, isn't there? We'll start with a finger. Send it home to dear daddy. And we'll see if he prefers to be reunited with his darling daughter in one piece. Or several. The entire crew is seething, pinned down in place by a dozen rifles to keep us from doing anything to help Riona. Tears spraying at the corner of my eyes, my frustration slipping out of me and streaming down my face. Ren waves a hand at one of their soldiers. You there. Give me your knife and keep her still. This will only take a second. Don't touch her! Yeah, get him, Bash, get him! In an instant, Bash is on his feet, though he barely makes it 3 feet before Riona stops him in his tracks with a shake of her head. What are you gonna do about it? I'll rip you apart. Yeah, you tell him. Get him! Get him! I see you've had some upgrades since we last met. Ilahash? What does that mean? Too bad. I don't think there'll ever be enough to get you out of this one. You ready to find out? Ren swings their rifle towards Bash, right before he grabs the barrel and sends it sprawling across the grass. Dozens of Makari weapons find their aim on him, and Bash grits his teeth, refusing to back down. You just had to try and be the hero, didn't you? Should have joined us when you had the chance. Never. Drawing the sword from its sheath on their back, Ren points the tip towards Bash. And you got a sword? That's crazy. Hold him still. 2 soldiers rush forward and train their rifles on either side of him, forcing him back to his knees. When Ren lowers the sword to Bash's neck, he grits his teeth and growls up at them. You're not a liberator. You're nothing but a murderer. Ren presses their sword against his skin hard enough to draw blood, and I watch in horror as the ruby droplets drip over the edge of the blade. And you're about to die. I hope it was worth it. She is. Who? Oh, Riona. Right when I think it's over, that we've lost Bash to the enemy, the trees surrounding us begin to whip and sway beneath the gust of a dozen descending ships. Oh, hell yeah. I forgot about that. Ren lowers their sword, leaving Bash forgotten on his knees as they scoop up the rifle and order their soldiers to form a new line of defense. Soldiers descend from the ships and land on the forest floor, and for a moment, I think they're Macquarie reinforcements, until I recognize the sigil they wear on their armor. Azure Dawn. Hey, I know you. Looks like we showed up just in the nick of time. He got that, his outfit looks kind of goofy. Sorry, I got distracted. I was like, what is he wearing right now? He's wearing like a t-shirt, a vest, and a blazery sports jacket. I mean, I guess and she looks like she's wearing a race car outfit. Ugh, not you again. Happy to see me. Come on, you can admit it. I'll be happy to put a bullet in you. Maybe two. Looks like looks like there's been enough of that going around here. Zane shoots a look in Vex's direction before turning to the rest of us. Get out of here. We'll deal with these clowns. Honka honka. Oh, that's fun. Little picture. Yeah, he's definitely wearing like a vest. It's not even like a button vest. It's just like one you... I mean, I guess vests aren't really buttoned, are they? Oh, music's going crazy. Ren scoffs and aims her rifle at Zane's head, only to be met by a barrel of his own. They're not going anywhere. Zane barks out a laugh, and I can't quite decide if he has a death wish or if he's simply half mad. My enormous shotgun begs to differ. And make no mistake, I'm talking about the one in my hands, so let's not get any crazy ideas. You don't want to see her when she gets mad. I hear Damon mumbling, oh, for fuck's sake, in the background, and I would laugh if we weren't a second away from being shot to hell. Zane gazes at his weapon with almost a loving expression. I named her Elisa, after a friend of mine. She's twice as pretty and just as lethal as the real thing. Did you say your gun was twice as pretty? Okay. While Zane keeps Ren and their soldiers locked in a standoff, the rest of us get ready to make a move. I hurry over to Damon, letting him take me in his arms and squeeze me tight. It's okay, we're gonna get out of here. Yeah, we are. Me and you and me. That's my man. I'm obsessed with him. Fork? What? Who said that? Guys, calm down. Calm down. Guys, be respectful. He takes me by the hand and we hurry towards the ship alongside Cauldron and June, who have Vex hoisted up between them. His face is pale. His eyes so heavy-lidded he looks like he's on the verge of passing out. The first shaft goes off right as we reach the ramp to the docks, and we pick up speed to get onto the safety of the ship. June, I need you on guns to cover our escape. Cauldron barks out orders as he hits a button to pull up the ramp and secure the ship. Bash, where are you? Ah, there you are. I need you to assist on weapons. June and Bash dash off together while I do my best to help Damon and get Vex to the stairs. You three take Vex to the infirmary. Aya, you're with me. Yeah, she's the pilot. She needs to fly the ship. We split up, Damon, Riona, and I hauling Vex to the infirmary while the others head to the bridge. The metal walls of the ship muffle the sounds of outside. But we pass the window and I see the fight is in full force. Azure Dawn clashing against the Macquarie, giving us the opportunity we need to make our escape. I wasn't sure what to think of Zane when we first met, but now I couldn't be more grateful for his presence. I can only hope he makes it out of there in one piece. By the time we make it to the infirmary, Vex is slipping in and out of consciousness, his body becoming dead weight in our arms. Vex, can you hear me? Try to stay awake. Oh, the light of God! We struggled across the room as the ship lurches and rumbles, hastily taking off from the surface of the planet. Eventually, the three of us managed to haul Vex up onto the medical chair, right as he passes out completely. Shit. Riona swears beneath her breath, and I raise an eyebrow at her. If the situation has a Taklari cursing, things must be bad. Is there anything I can help with? We'll need to clean the wound. Will you fetch some bandages and antiseptic from the cupboard there? I do as she asks, glad to make myself useful, even if in some small way. When I open the cupboard, well, I guess I did say cupboard, and it is cupboard. kind of, but I don't usually say it like that. I find the products I need are clearly labeled, and I grab a couple of other things that seem like they could be useful. I return to the two of them to find Damon's face is hard and his expression pissed. A far cry from the mask he wore earlier. Ren wanted you, Rai. Bad. I could see it on their face. Rihanna scoffs at him, looking far from thrilled at the topic of the conversation. That's what happens when you have a family in politics, but we've hardly got the time to worry about that now. No, I think it's exactly what we need to be worried about. Rihanna stops and pins Damon with a firm look, but I don't miss the edge of softness she gives him. I'm fine. I'm not the one bleeding out on the chair right now. So can we focus, please? Damn, ship's going crazy. Let me write down the time. Actually, because I do want to put... Where my pen at? Okay, I'll just put minor flashing warning on that. I just want to make sure it's fine. The ship rumbles beneath us and I grab onto the chair for support as it lurches from side to side. The guns were being followed by the sound of things shot at. The worry must show on my face because Rihanna gives me a small smile. Don't worry, Kay. June knows what he's doing. He'll keep us safe. And I bet Aya's having the time of her life. As long as Cal leaves her to the controls, we'll be out of here in no time. They're so confident. Rihanna grabs a tray with various tools while instructing us to remove Vex's jacket. Taking a side each, Damon and I carefully pull the garment off his shoulders and down his arms, before Rihanna moves in to push his shirt up and expose the wound. I watch as she cleans the blood away to expose the bullet hole beneath. The injury doesn't look as bad as I expected, but it makes me wince nonetheless. Using her medical wand, she sweeps over the area, reading the Talari symbols that appear on the side of the device. The good news is that the bullet went straight through him, so the wound is clean. There's no major damage to internal organs, but he's lost a lot of blood. He'll need a transfusion to keep him going. The worry must show on my face because Rihanna takes a moment to give me a comforting smile. He'll be okay, Kay. We'll have him fixed up in no time. Taking a small sample of Vex's blood, she turns to a small machine on the counter and runs a vial of crimson liquid through it. The device processes the sample, lights blinking from red to green as it displays its findings on the screen. Rihanna frowns at the analysis of the data. What's wrong? There's only one other person on the ship who's compatible. Who? Cauldron. Oof. But Vex is half Catalfan. How does that work? It's because he's half Catalfan and human that he can receive blood from either species with a compatible blood type. But we'll need to start the transfusion now or he won't last much longer. We don't have any synthetic? We haven't had a chance to replenish our stock since Goldus. Miranda grabs a small device off the wall and holds down a button before speaking. Captain, I need you to the infirmary. We've got an emergency on our hands. I'm a little busy right now, Doc. Holy shit, did you see that? Ayame, you're about to give me a heart attack for fuck's sake. There's a crash and some swearing before the line goes dead. Rihanna lets out a heavy breath before she turns to me. Kay, will you fetch him for me? Sure, yeah. Alright, I'm going, but if I don't make it back alive, you'll only have yourselves to blame. Technically, it'll be Rihanna's fault. She's the one sending you to your doom. Stop that. Rihanna swats at his shoulder with a hand, which only makes him chuckle out loud. The captain's more bark than bite. Don't let him intimidate you. Yes, ma'am. And don't you call me ma'am. Okay, my bad. With a gulp, I hurry out of the infirmary before Rihanna has a chance to inflict any real damage. I'm not sure that even Dame would protect me if she decided to. I'll be fine. I reach the bridge quickly, where I'm met with the sound of voices, one which sounds unfamiliar to me, until I realize I know exactly who it is. Oh, hey. What did I do? I'm sure you'll find a way to repay us one day, Blondie. We did save your asses, after all. If I remember correctly, Zane was the one who showed up. I didn't see you saving anything. Who do you think gives the orders? You're not the only one wearing the big boots around here. Let's cool our jets, shall we? Ayame slides in between Cal and Elisa's holograms, holding her arms raised in surrender. I think we're all more than grateful that you saved our butts back there, Elisa. The captain included. How's the situation back on Cursa? I'm not on Cursa, which brings me to the actual point of this call. You mean to tell me this isn't a social call? Aha, look at you, you made a joke. I shift on my feet impatiently while Cal sneers at her. It's clear that these two really aren't fond of each other. I'm itching to jump in and interrupt, but I try my best to keep a cool head. After you left, we managed to push the McCurry back and secure our district. It wasn't long before we were contacted by someone I can safely say I never expected to receive a call from. Who was it? Eldridge Mahayden, the Council of the Eons, right? The Council of Eons on Talaran. Riona's father? I knew he was on the council, but the head is supposed to be... The late Queen's mother, yeah. It seems there's been a shift of power in recent years. What did he want? You, well, your stowaway most of all. He requests your presence here on Talaran. You're on Talaran too? What does Eldridge want with us? Questions. Learn to go with the flow for once, won't you, Blondie? Just tell me what... A loud beep interrupts the captain, followed by a bewildered-looking Arknos appearing next to Elisa. Hey. Oh, hello, ambulance crew. Oppo? Oppo, if I have to tell you one more time to stop listening on my calls, then someone's losing a tail. Again. Oppo is sorry. Oppo was trying to call home to make sure the bar is still in one... I already told you it's in good hands. One day, I swear to God, I'm gonna... Just get your asses to Talaran. We'll be waiting. There's another beep and the holograms disappeared. Oh, just did a whole bunch of New York and I can't quite remember. Both Elisa and Talaran and Oppo are in Talaran? It appears so. Something weird is going on. I can feel it in my gills. I forget she has gills all the time. I constantly forget she's a fish. Having already waited long enough, I step onto the bridge and let the footsteps echo loudly over the metal floor, making my presence known. Both Cauldron and Aya turn at once, their gazes fixed on me. How long have you been standing there? The whole time. Pretty much the whole time. I say impatiently. Cauldron sighs, but his face softens somewhat. At least you're honest. Sorry to cut this short, but we really do have an emergency on our hands. Vex needs a blood transfusion, and there's only one person on the ship who matches his blood type. No, you're not sticking a needle in me. No way. Aya backs away with her arms held in front of her. I would chuckle at her reaction if I didn't have to deliver the next line instead. Actually, it's Cauldron. What? Is this what Riona was trying to ask me through the comms? No way in hell am I giving my blood to that traitor. Please help him. I can't have his death on my conscience, and I suspect that you can't either. Please, I'm asking you to help him. And if he tries to hurt one of our crew? If he tries to hurt you? What then? He won't. We're headed to Talaran. Maybe someone will know how to help him. It just slides further into some accent that I'm not sure what it is. It's fine. I give Aya a grateful smile, one that she returns, much to Cauldron's annoyance. He takes in a deep breath, and I know he's given in when his shoulders sink, and he pinches the bridge of his nose between his fingers. Fine, I'm going. Aya, you know the plan. Get us to where we need to go. Yes, Captain. I'm trying to read a little bit more dynamically. I remember Touch Starved. I felt like I read it so well. And then I listened to some of the audio for, like, some other stuff, and I was like, I read so boring. I read, like, intensely all the time. And I'm like, I need you to chill. I need you to calm down. It's not that deep. I was like, we need to add a little whimsy to this bitch. I chase after Cal as he leaves the bridge, time running short, and Vex needs all the help he can get. But I want to know what I walked in on back there. At least I didn't look too happy during that call. I say out loud as we stride towards the infirmary side by side. Cal scoffs quietly and shakes his head. I'm starting to think that that's her default setting. Like another person I know around here. She's happy we got the bomb set off at least. The facility we blew to hell is beyond repair. Which means an end to their creepy little experiments? You got it. And Zane? He's fine. The Uzurdon managed to fight off the Macari as soon as we took off. Had them running away with their tail between their legs. They're in the process of picking up the freed prisoners and moving them to Talaran. Talaran? I don't understand. They don't allow outsiders on their planet. Seems like things are changing everywhere. I nod in silent agreement, thinking back on everything we've accomplished today. On everything we've been through. Who was that back on Orion? Ren? Zivek's right hand. The one that goes out and executes all his dirty work. A lump settles in my throat, and I swallow around it as I ask my next question. Do you think they were there that night? The night my family was killed? Yeah, I'd say they were. I'm sorry, Kay. The silence stretches between us as we stop at the infirmary doors. Cauldron sighs and rubs the back of his neck with a hand. Look, I've got it covered from here. How about you head back to the bridge and help Aya? She's still a bit shaken up and could use the company. I nod in confirmation, and Cal heads into the infirmary. I make my way back to the bridge. Hey, girl. When I step in the cabin again, Aya twists in her seat and smiles at me. Hey there, navigator. You must be with me. I sure am. How can I help? I need you to start a course to the nearest space station. We will make it to Talarn without refueling first. Are we still being followed? The Macquarie ships fill back before we hit the edge of the Orion's atmosphere. Their crafts are speedy, but they're small. Hardly built for interplanetary chase. Me trying to read hard words. It's fine. I take a seat at the navigation station to pull up the screen, using what I've been learning to bring up the information on the space stations between us and Talaran. I'd say the closest one is called Kronos? Ayana swears beneath her breath, and I can see that this information is less than welcome. Is there anything else? I swipe across the screen, filtering through names and distances of various way stations. There's another called Uba Terminal, though we'd be going out of our way to reach it. We can't go there, not unless we want to be cuffed on arrival. I take a few seconds to think of our options. Her fingers... Oh, she does that, not us. Her fingers twirling through the ends of her hair. The people who run Kronos are shifty, and they charge too much for, well, everything. But we'll be able to get in and out without a hitch as long as we keep our heads down. Set a direct course and we'll get this baby some much-needed TLC. Yes, ma'am. I tap a few controls on the screen, fumbling only once before the course is set, and the information is beamed across the pilot's hub. I can't believe we're going to Talaran. I've always wanted to see it. Riona's told me so much about it. It sounds amazing. I just wish that. She trails off, a sad and wistful expression coming over her. What do you wish? She sighs before turning back to the controls. I can't see her face, but I'd never mistake the pain I hear in her voice. Nothing. Aya shakes her head, and when she looks at me again, her smile is returned, though there's something about it that just doesn't quite seem right. You should get some rest. It's been a long day. I'll let you know when we're getting closer to Kronos. Are you sure you don't want me to stay for a bit? Keep you company? She shakes her head, and this time when she smiles, I believe it's the real deal. I'll be okay. I've got my eyes peeled for any Macquarie ships, so no distractions. Alright, if you insist. I turn to go, but before I can reach the door, Aya calls out to me again. Hey, Kay? Yeah, what's up? You're doing a great job, navigator. I smile at her warmly. Thanks, Aya. Hell yeah. I'm reluctant to leave her, but there's something about her demeanor that's telling me she's not okay. But at least for now, it seems like she wants to be left alone. Heading out into the corridor, I let myself drift away with my thoughts as I make my way to my room. So much has happened over the last 24 hours. I can hardly believe that I have a moment to breathe at all. I think of Damon and how worried he was about Riona and Ren's confrontation. Even if he doesn't always show it, it's clear how much he cares about the people he's close to. I'm beginning to realize that the world is a dangerous place, much more than I had imagined, and I'm still learning the rules of the game. Footsteps up ahead drag me from my thoughts, and I look up to see a familiar face heading towards me. Is it my man? Fuck. Damn. It's you. It's you. Whatever. Hey, June. He stops in front of me, his shoulders tight with hesitation as his mouth softly parts. Kay, I've been looking for you. Oh? I just wanted to say I'm so sorry I had to see that back at the facility. That was the hottest you've ever looked. I have never found you attractive a single moment that we were playing this game until that moment. So. Honestly, it was tea. It's just not something I wanted any of you to witness. I understand your reaction. You don't have to apologize to me, June. I can only imagine how it feels for you to go back to that place. I can't say I would have acted any differently. June shifts from side to side, clearing his throat before he speaks softly. You're not afraid of me? Nah, dude, you're just a guy, bruh. No, I'm not afraid of you. But all those people in the facility, the experiments, you destroyed them so easily, like they were nothing. He drops his head, and I can see that he feels my horror in some deep, hollow place inside himself. I'm not sorry for ending their lives. You have to understand, Kay. If I had let them live, they would have killed hundreds, thousands perhaps. But the bomb would have killed them. You could have just left them to the explosions. Wouldn't that have been better than killing them with your own hands? I can see by the expression on his face. He had already thought this through. Already grappled the weight of his actions. It's likely they just would have survived the explosions, and I couldn't take that risk. Their bodies were infused with orionite, same as mine. But they're not like me, Kay. How do you know that? They might have been suffering just like you. They were suffering, I have no doubt about that, but that's where the similarities end. June takes a breath to calm himself, and I can see that he knows much more about the situation than I do, and I trust his judgment. My transformation began when I was born, and there was no one else who took to the substance like I did, not even my brother. The doctors, my parents, tried to recreate it over and over and failed every time. I don't know why I was the only one who survived it, and trust me when I say that I've tried to find the answer. Those things in the facility used to be Macari's soldiers. Damn, that's crazy. But from the moment that they were poisoned with orionite, they became something else, something more dangerous than any of us. And the worst part is, they chose to do it, convinced that they would become some sort of superhero, maybe. He lets out a small scoff and shakes his head, as though perplexed by anyone would be willing to put themselves through that. I suppose I'm wondering the same thing. Before I joined the crew, I was lost. I tried to find others like me, convinced that if there was someone else out there who was moving on, who was living a life of their own, that maybe I had a chance. But there was no one, not a single soul. Every single subject that had been infused with orionite, past birth, was dead. The older they were when the procedure was done, the more twisted they became, and the quicker it killed them. Killing those soldiers in Orion makes me a monster, I know that much, but I'd do it again. If it was me back there, in their place, June falters, his emotions getting the better of him. I'd wish someone would kill me too. Damn, you're protecting us. I'm sorry that you had to go through all that. It sounds like, to me, you protected the people of the system from a threat they didn't even know existed. If they did know, I bet they'd be grateful. I know that I am. June's eyes widen on me. I don't think he expected this kind of reaction, but he seems grateful for it all the same. Thank you for your kindness, Kay. You're welcome, brah. Didn't even worry about it, dude. I can't say that I deserve it, but destroying that place has lifted a weight on me. Knowing that those experiments will never be replicated, that Zovac will never unleash those monsters onto the world, it feels good. Really good. His eyes drift away from me, his voice going quiet when he speaks next. Nobody will ever have to go through that again. If that's the last thing I ever do in this world, it was worth it. I believe that you'll go on to do much more, June. I'm just glad that this has brought you the peace that you deserve. We share a small smile, and it occurs to me how nice it is to see June reveling in himself, relieving himself of his burdens. His gaze shifts to the window and the vast expanse of space beyond the glass. I finally feel like I can look towards the future. I've been stuck in my nightmare of a past for far too long. It'll be nice to just focus on something else for once. I step up beside him, studying the void that stretches on between us and our next destination, and I think of my own future. That does sound nice. I feel it when June looks towards me, feel the hesitation that hangs between us before he speaks again. Oops. Hey, yeah, I notice how I am with my man, too. Yeah, I noticed that, too. I couldn't help but notice the way you and Damon... Wait. Huh? I can't help but notice you and Damon back on Orion. I'm glad you found someone to be close with. I have to admit, I was surprised at first, but I can see what drew you two together. Thank you. That means a lot. He rubs the back of his neck sheepishly, as though he suddenly wishes he hadn't said anything about it at all. Anyway, I better head off to find the captain. One of the guns jammed when we were shooting at the Macarium, and we'll need to fix it as soon as we can. We're heading to a space station called Kronos? Can it be fixed there? Yeah, that'll be perfect. We'll have a look around for a couple of small parts, but Bash will see it done. We say our goodbyes, and I carry on down the corridor. I hear June talking to his communicator, using the device to locate Cauldron. At the thought of the captain, I wonder how the blood transfusion has gone with Vex. If the look on his Thunder's face when he left the bridge was any indication, Riona had her work cut out for her. I'm desperate for a rest, but I decide to check on them all once more before I do. When I step into the infirmary for the second time this evening, the chaos from earlier has dissipated. The room is quiet, the lights dimmed. Riona's Mister is quietly running in the background. Oh, Mister, like mist. Not mist like Mister, like Milady. I was like, who's her Mister? Man, I'm dumb. The scent of lavender and verbena hanging in the air. I spy Damon leaning back in Riona's chair with his boots resting upon the desk in front of him. I shake my head, attempting to hold back a grin. Don't let Riona catch you like that. He snorts at my teasing and turns, letting the chair fall forward as he sits up straight, his feet thumping on the floor. Never. I can hear the click of her boots from a mile away. So useless someone decides to go and be a tattletale. So unless someone decides to go and be a tattletale, I'd say I'm safe. Where is she anyway? Damon pushes himself to his feet, stepping towards me with a smirk dancing on his lips. And here I thought you'd come looking for me. You're breaking my heart, Your Highness. I cross my arms over my chest, giving him a firm stare despite the way my heart is fluttering. You're really gonna keep calling me that? Come on, I know you like it. I can tell by the way your mouth twitches, like you're trying not to smile at me. He reaches out and pinches the side of my face playfully, and though I swatted his hand huffily, I smiled despite myself. Doc's taking a break. I know I'm not exactly a medical professional, but if you need a full body examination... Shut the fuck up. Oh my god! Say less. Like literally say less, but also like shh. Like stop. Damon grins at me, the curve of his lips nothing short of sinful. The memory of our kiss comes to mind, those lips on mine, his arms around me. I can't wait to kiss him again, though I hardly think now is the right time or place. I think it could be if we left this room and went to my room. What? Who said that? God, you're being inappropriate. Stop it. I clear my throat softly, determined to change the subject and remember why I actually came here. How did the blood transfusion go? Is Vex doing okay? Damon snorts again, as though I've somehow said something mildly funny. It went well enough, considering Cal could barely sit for long enough to have his blood drawn. As soon as it was done, he tore out of here, muttering something about Talaran, among other things. Lucky, our Riona's a gem. Patched our carrot head up better than he deserves, I'd say. He looks towards the bed, shaking his head in either amusement or disappointment. I can't quite tell. He's resting now. He'll be fine. I follow Damon's gaze and I feel my shoulders sag with relief. I want to see him, but before I step towards the curtain, something makes me pause, and I turn to Damon once more. Cauldron told you we were heading to Talaran? Yeah, sounds like Lisa's up to something. My hopes perk up. If anyone knows why Lisa might be on Talaran, it's Damon. What do you think it is? Who knows? Outsiders haven't been welcome on Talaran for decades, so whatever it is, it's something big. Why else would they have let a dope like Zane on the planet? I don't ask anymore. It's not his fault, but I'm disappointed to learn that Damon knows just as little as I do. I'm impatient to get to Talaran, to find out exactly what's going on, but I know that there are other things we have to take care of first. Before you do anything else, come over here. Damon instructs before he heads over to the overhead cupboard and starts pulling out some supplies. I thought we were gonna do something fun. Whatever, I just thought we were gonna do something fun. We talked about doing fun things, okay? So my character's boring. Whatever, I don't even care. I follow him tentatively, watching him set down the bottle of blue fluid and a wad of cotton balls. What are you doing? You've got a cut on your head. My hand flies to my forehead. I didn't even realize it was there. It doesn't hurt at all. Don't touch it. It needs to be cleaned before you get it infected. I drop my hand, letting Damon step forward and press one of the moistened cotton balls to my head, dabbing it over the wound. Yeah, he kind of likes this one of him. It stings a little when it hits the cut, but I try my best to stay still while he works. I didn't know Rihanna was training an assistant. When you work in my profession, you need to know the basics. Damon turns back to find a small bandage, using it to cover the cut. After smoothing it down over my skin, he stands back and admires his work. All done. Take this too, for the bruises. He grabs a small tube from the counter and holds it towards me. I don't think I have. You will in the morning, trust me. Taking the tube of ointment, I pocket it for later, giving him a small smile. Thanks. Don't mention it. Heading over to Riona's desk, I pick up a small mirror, using it to inspect the so-called gash. The bandages covered it completely, so it couldn't have been too bad. In any case, I'm glad that Damon thought to take care of it so it wouldn't get any worse. You know, my medical services don't come for free. Oh, what's your payment? I have a couple methods of payment. I'm no better than he is. That's the issue. I think the problem here is that I'm just no better than he is. The problem is like we're the same person. Except I laugh a lot more. I go, hee. Oh, and like he's good at fighting and I'm not. Damon comes up behind me, his arm slipping around my waist. And a sinful smile appearing in the mirror before I set it back down on the desk. My pulse starts to pick up, my skin prickling at his touch. I'm dying. Jesus! I tried desperately not to show it, though I'm sure he already knows. What kind of payment do you take? My voice comes out in a sigh as his nose nuzzles my neck and my brain starts to short circuit. Boo, you're boring. I have a few options, but since it was only a very small procedure, I'll settle for a kiss. I turn in his arms and smirk at him, my lips hovering an inch from his before I change course and press a soft kiss on the tip of his nose. His eyes widen in surprise, and then he chuckles softly and drops his arms from around me, shoving his hands into the pocket of his coat. Payment accepted. Oh, that's cute! Damn, I didn't get my head out of the gutter. That's cute as fuck. Alright, let me just shut the fuck up and sit down. That was actually really cute. Oh, I didn't turn on my oven. Hold on. I'll be back. Okay, it's on. That was so cutie pie, though. Okay, go off, period. Payment accepted. I try to smother a smile as Damon moves towards the curtains surrounding Vex's bed, but I'm not sure I'm doing a very good job at it. So, you want a moment alone with him? Damon's voice changes in tone, bringing me back to the current situation. I assume that he's talking about Vex, and I look towards the bed instinctively. After his confession back on Orion, the fact that he was the one who shot Nerissa, it's difficult to come to terms with. I'll admit that I may have been putting it off for longer than I should. Isn't he, like, knocked the fuck out? Like, T. Isn't he knocked out? Okay, let me read it. Because I was like, isn't he knocked the fuck out? I guess we can talk about it, but yeah, if you don't mind. Sure thing, just don't tell Cal I left you alone with him. I don't particularly want to be booted out of the airlock before we get to Tularan. Don't worry, I won't say a thing. He grins as he turns, boots squeaking on the floor beneath him. I'll be right outside. Try not to get into any trouble. If he goes berserk again, just start yelling. I'll put him out of his misery. Get out of here. I wave Damon off with a shake of my head and a half-concealed grin. I highly doubt he'd do anything to hurt a hair on his old friend's head. I hear the whoosh of the doors as Damon exits behind me, and I step towards the bed where Vex is lying. Reaching out, I pull the curtains, only to be met by a pair of heavy-lidded emerald eyes blinking at me slowly. Oh, I guess he is awake. Hey, nerd. Hey, Your Highness. Bitch! Sorry, I walked in. Vex's voice is raspy when he speaks. He looks half asleep, like he's just woken up. It must have been our voices that woke him. Hey, how are you feeling? I lived, but I gotta say, that bullet hurt like hell. Vex grunts as he pushes himself up a little, leaning back against a couple of pillows. Just don't tell Damon I said that. I rush forward to help him, fluffing the pillows behind his back so he can sit more comfortably. Be careful, don't move around too much. Yes, nurse. Ha ha, very funny. He chuckles at the look I give him, wincing at the pain that strikes straight after. It pains me to see him looking like this. I never wanted him to get hurt. Does it still hurt a lot? Yeah, a bit. Riona says it'll take a few days to heal completely. Apparently, the med tech on the ship is pretty archaic. I'm grateful for what she's done for me nonetheless. As long as you're healing, that's all that matters. He gives a small smile before his face suddenly drops, his shoulders sagging underneath some kind of weight. I don't know you can stand to look at me after. He trails off, but I know what he's trying to say. We'll have to talk about this sooner or later. I won't pretend that it doesn't hurt. Looking at you, knowing what you've done. But also I know that it wasn't your choice. If I can forgive you, then maybe you can find some way to forgive yourself. I don't know if I can. Every time I close my eyes, all I see is... What is that? I was about to say another line from Epic. Every time I close my eyes, all I hear are screams. Yeah, I love Epic. He stops himself, a muscle feathering his jaw as he looks away. Sadness cuts into him so deeply that I can see it take form as it hollows his cheeks, the shadow beneath his eyes. Vex, I'm so sorry about your parents. I had no idea that we were going through all that. We knew each other for so long, and I didn't know. How could you have known? I kept that part of me a secret, and I deceived you. A pinprick of anger needles at me, knowing that he was lying to me all that time. Some part of me feels guilty for forgiving him so quickly, but a much bigger part feels that this is what we both need. I can only hope that we can move on from this, as friends. But you weren't the only one who was deceived. Zovak assured me that my parents were safe. I spent years of my life doing his bidding, convinced that he would help me find them. Every time I wanted to go to Orion to save them, he always had some way of talking me out of it. I think a part of me knew they were gone, but I hoped so much that I would find them there, that I could take them home. I should have gone to that prison years ago. I should have stolen a ship and found my way there. How would you have gotten them out of there? We saw how heavy the place was guarded. It would have been impossible. Vex pauses. Deep down, I think he knows I'm right, but right now he's hurting too much to care. I would have found a way. He hangs his head low, and I see the guilt and regret that eats away at him, devouring him alive. I can't stop thinking that this is my punishment. Karma for everything I've done to others. That's a good question. I mean, I don't think it's karma. His parents were probably dead for a very long time. Probably, Zovak always knew where his parents were. Like, he just got manipulated as fuck. I mean, like, I fully... And I can't even really say it's his fault, right? Because, to some extent, he doesn't... Like, even if he defected, like, if he was like, I'm not gonna do that, he has that thing where, like, they can control him anyways. So it's like, I can't even really say it's his fault either. Like, I recognize that the character, like, the main character, would and should be upset that he killed their whole family. I know that. I recognize that. And I think that those feelings are valid. But also I recognize that, like, he didn't have a lot of choice. I don't even think he... Like, I think he's... Like, what did he say? I think he said that, like, he remembered standing in front of her and, like, something took over him and then she was dead. Like, he doesn't even remember killing her. Like, something like, you know, all that testing that they did. Like, I would dare to say that I don't think it's his fault. And I know that's cray, but I think that's where I'm at right now. It's not your fault. If you go blaming yourself, it'll only keep killing you. Maybe it should. Maybe I deserve it. Don't say that. I hold his gaze, determined to make him see that he means more than he knows. I know you've made mistakes. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve a second chance. Okay, He squeezes his eyes shut, his jaw tensed at some memory from the past, something that's tearing him apart. Vex? I watch as he bares his teeth, gritted hard as he tries to pull himself back. You're still having trouble with the corruption in your mind? It comes and goes. I don't know how long I'll be able to hold out before I'm not myself again. I don't want to hurt anyone else. I can't stay on this ship, Kay. We're gonna Talaran. Surely there's gonna be someone there that can help you. Talaran? Elisa's there, and Oppo too? I don't know what's going on, but I feel like it's something important. I'll do my best to hold out until we get there. Vex winces again, his eyes flickering as he fights to stay in control. I'll go and get Damon. You should get some rest. Wait, will you stay just a little longer? I feel better when you're here. More like myself. I look down at him, and for a moment, I don't see the man who's caused so much anger and heartbreak, but the boy who just lost his parents in need of comfort. Sure, if that's what you need. I take a seat beside the bed, returning the smile that Vex gives me. Thank you, Kay, for coming to see me. I didn't think you would. I'll always be here for you, Vex, no matter what happens. Same here. As long as my mind permits me, of course. Damn! That's sad as fuck. Don't worry about that now. You should get some rest. I help him to lie down and get comfortable, but he doesn't try to sleep straight away. Instead, he looks over at me, a strange smile playing on his lips. So, you and Damon, huh? I twist my hands together in my lap before looking at him, wondering how he feels about all this. I don't particularly care, princess. I don't care. Are you upset? Sorry. Nah, we had our chances. Things didn't work out for a reason. Can't say I approve, but I can see why you like him. I'm relieved to hear it. The thought of moving on, of leaving him in the dust, is a weight I can do without. We'd always been friends, before we were anything else. Perhaps we could be friends once again. We talked for a while longer, and I noticed his eyes growing heavy, and his head begin to nod. Alright, I think it's definitely time to get some rest. I help him get comfortable on his pillows, and it doesn't take long for his breathing to grow deep as he slips into dreams. His body needs plenty of rest to recover. I watch him for a while, gazing at the faint freckles scattered over his nose. He's got freckles? I don't see shit. The way his eyelashes flutter as he dreams. He looks so peaceful. A memory from my past taking physical form right in front of me. When Riona returns a while later, I decide it's time for me to go and get some rest of my own. I think that I should rest with Damon. I think that'd be a good spend of my time. I think I should rest with Damon. I step into my own room with a sigh, relieved to have a moment where I can finally be on my own. Today's drained me in more ways than one. And I feel if I don't go to bed soon, I'll collapse where I stand. It doesn't take long for me to change into some comfortable clothes, slip into bed, and fall asleep. Tea. Okay. I wake up a little... Hello? Ah, Jesus! Everything's falling apart. It's fine. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, we're okay. I wake up a little while later, and while I feel as though I've only just fallen asleep, by the aches and pain in my body, I can tell it's been a few hours at least. With a low groan, I sit up and stretch my arms above my head, attempting to stretch out my muscles. I feel stiff and sore all over. I immediately see that Damon was right when I find a bruise on my arm, and then another on my shoulder. No doubt the after effects of almost falling to death into a pit. I shudder to even think what could have happened if Damon wasn't there to save me. I glance at my holopad and check the time while I rub some of the ointment that Damon had given me over my bruises. It's too early to be awake, but my body feels rested and my mind won't let me sleep. Though it's the last thing I feel like doing, I think my body could benefit from a bit of training to help me warm it up and get it going again. Even some light stretching would do, World of Wonder. And after that, a long, hot shower. Before any of that, however, I need to do something about this grumbling stomach. After heading to the kitchen for some much-needed breakfast and about half a gallon of water, I head to the docks to see if I can get my body functioning again, at least at a normal level. I haven't seen any of the crew awake, though that's hardly surprising given what time it is. That, and I think all of us needed a well-deserved night of rest. We don't work on, like, shifts or something? Heading down the stairs to the docks, the faint sound of grunts and moans drift up to me, and just when I thought I was the only one up early. When I hit the bottom of the steps, I spot Ayame in the distance, a bunch of training pads scattered on the ground around her. She's dressed casually, a couple of holographic targets set up with practice, fighting 2 at a time. She's an impressive fighter, but of course I knew that already, having her whip my ass during our first training session together. I watch as she expertly dodges a punch from one target, using her agility to get its arms and take it down with ease. The other one attacks from behind. For a moment, it seems like Aya has lost the game. It only takes a second for the tide to turn. Aya reaches behind her and grabs the target behind the head, ducking down and using her weight to propel it to the ground, where she finishes it with a final blow. With a triumphant bark of laughter, she stands and straightens her back, straightening out her hands and hard breathing. The target's now severely beaten, disappear, and the program ends. That was awesome! Hey, girl. At the sound of my voice, Aya turns abruptly, her eyes wide and her fists raised in defense. It's only me, though I thought I might be able to last half a second longer against you than those targets did. Oh, I didn't hear you come in. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. It's alright. I was lost in my own head. I spot it for only a second, but the same sadness that seemed to be haunting Aya last night passes over her face. In the blink of an eye, it's gone again, replaced by her usual easygoing smile. So, did you get some rest? She changes the subject, and though I want to talk to her more about what's bothering her, I don't want to push it. Yeah, I fell asleep pretty early. You were right, I definitely needed it. She smiles a little, though something about it seems weak, like she's forcing herself to put on a brave face. How did you sleep? Not well. She wrings her hands together, and I'm starting to suspect that it's a sign that she's troubled by something. I couldn't turn my mind off. I kept thinking about Orion, everything that's happened there. Everything that could have happened. She begins to pace, her lower lip trembling as she speaks. She's never made that expression before. Jun was struggling, and I couldn't do anything to help him. He's my friend. I should have done something. And then Bash and Riona, we could have lost them both. I step forward slowly, trying not to spook her. I can see how fragile she is right now. More like vulnerable, not really sure about fragile. If it makes you feel any better, I talked with Jun last night. He's doing good. I think he really needed that outburst to work through a few things. Really? That makes me feel a bit better. Though it's hard to get past these feelings. She turns away from me, her shoulders slumped and head bowed. A hand flies to her mouth and a sob escapes her, and her face crumbles. Aya, what's wrong? Sorry, it's nothing really. She squeaks the words out, shakily between small hiccuping sobs, rubbing at her eyes to hide the tears. It's nothing. You can talk to me. You can talk to me, Aya, if you want to. About anything. She brushes away the tears with the back of her hand, sniffing quietly. Thank you, but there's really nothing to talk about. I don't even know why I'm crying, okay? I'm stupid, it's stupid. My chest squeezes as she turns away again. She seems so small, so lost, and I'm not sure what to do to stop that. I won't think it's stupid, I promise. I try to assure her, hoping that even having one person to listen will make a change. After all that's said and all that Aya has done for me, all the support she's given me, it's the least I can do. She hesitates for a few moments, but when she finally speaks, I know I'm getting her to open up. Many years ago, my parents sacrificed everything to keep me safe, and I'm grateful to them for the life I have, but I shouldn't even be here. My brother Akira, no! Sorry, was the one who joined the guard. He wanted to travel the system, and other systems too. She closes her eyes, her lashes fluttering as she pulls up memories of the past. All I wanted was for us to have a home, somewhere we could be safe. I joined the guard after he died, but it didn't make things any better. The tears fall thick down her cheeks, and this time she doesn't stop them. We're going to Talaran, the one place he's always wanted to see. The realization hits me, and I know that what Aya wished last night. She wished that Akira could be with her when she saw Talaran for the first time. That the two of them could experience a new planet together. You're honoring your brother's legacy. I think that in a way, you're honoring your brother's legacy. He may not be here physically, but I'm sure he's still with you in other ways. I don't know if it's the same for you, but sometimes I swear I still hear Nerissa speaking to me. I smile at her, hoping that she won't take what I'm saying the wrong way. Akira would have wanted you to go to Talaran, right? Yeah, but I don't know. It doesn't feel the same for me. It just feels like he's gone. I'm sorry, Kay. I think I just need to be alone right now. I watch as she hugs her arms around herself, making her seem smaller than she already is. I've already lost so much. Everyone that mattered to me is gone. They're never coming back. I just can't lose anyone else. I can't let that happen. She curls the end of her hair around her finger. Her face steeps so deeply in sadness that it hurts me to witness. Rain was right. I am a nobody. When my friends are in danger, I can't do shit to help them. Don't say that, Aya. Friend doesn't know anything. It's you who saved Cal from the prison in Goldus. None of us would be here if it wasn't for you. You're the heart of this crew. She gives me a weak smile, but this time I know it's far from genuine. I wish I could believe you. With a sigh, she turns away from me, heading back over to the training mats and the device she uses for holographic targets. Don't worry about me, Kay. I'll get over it eventually. Aya. I try to say more, but Aya initiates the training device and launches straight into another program. I had initially come down here to train, but I don't want to be a bother, especially when Aya's feeling so down. Heading back towards the stairs, I turn one last time before leaving. Damn, she looks so sad. Aya's standing in the middle of her training mats with her head bowed and the training program around her forgotten. I want so much to go to her, to tell her everything will be okay, but I feel as though she'll only end up shrugging me off again. I want to tell her that she doesn't have to be happy all the time, that it's okay to be sad about things. It doesn't make her any less worthy. Instead, I drag myself up the stairs, feeling hopeless. It's not like I had to shut me out like that. I'm worried about what it could mean. With my training plan thoroughly tossed out the window, I head back to my room for that long shower I'd promised myself. Another day... Okay, that's probably where I'm gonna stop then. Alright. Good little episode or whatever. It kind of slayed. Rah! Okay. I'm so locked in. Dude, I still don't know what's going on, but I'm having a great time doing it. Oh, that's so sad. But you know what? Vex is saved. Hopefully I will end up feeling better. I would redo the combo, but I just feel like when you're that sad, there's really nothing you can do about it. You know, she's going to be in her fifis for a minute. I've said what I tried to say, you know, I'm trying to be like, you know, supporting her in my own way, but there's only so much you can do, you know? Anyways, I hope you're having so much fun, maybe as much fun as I'm having, maybe even more. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!